When a watch manufacturer listens to constructive criticism from people and implements the changes in their product, that's a good thing. And about a year ago, Main introduced the Manhattan 37, a Genta-inspired watch, very similar design cues to a Vacheron 2215, but with its own unique flair. Now that watch was very successful, but along with it came some constructive critiques. The size. Gee, this would have been ideal for modern standards if it were just a tad bigger, and possibly thinner too. Well, here it is. And although 2mm doesn't sound all that much, it's a pretty big step up in size where watches are concerned. Now, is it any good? Let's find out. I have in my hands a prototype of the soon-to-be released Manhattan 39. It is bigger by 2mm and yet it's so much thinner. This watch comes in at 7.4mm total height. Now a lot of us are happy to see this watch in this size, me included, because I've had a few Main watches on the channel and they're all very good quality. The finishing, the execution, they're just executed really well. And even though this is a prototype, I could hardly see any differences in quality finish as compared to a production version of the 37. Now firstly, Main has sponsored this video, so I will of course leave all the links in the description section for you guys to check them out. And before I share the watch's specs, let me share a quick story about my wife. Last year when I received a copy of the 37, I showed my wife and she said, "That's a lovely watch, but it's too small for your wrist." I never saw that watch again until today. She swiped it off me and I've seen it on her wrist on the rare occasion. But it gets weirder. You see, yesterday I showed her this 39. It was on my wrist and I said, "Honey, what do you think of this?" And she goes to me, "Gee, that looks really familiar. Have I seen that watch before?" And I'm thinking, oh no. I hope she hasn't got plans on swiping this one. But let's move on. Now the dimensions of this watch, the 39, are completely different from the 37. I measure a diameter of 38.9 and a case height of 7.4mm. And for this style of watch, it's ideal. And it's good to see that they've managed to keep the lug-to-lug distance at 49.1 as compared to the original, which was 48. Now the crown on the watch is a 4mm signed push-pull crown, and the total weight of the watch, sized to my 18cm wrist on this bracelet, comes in at exactly 115 grams. And there's the overhead on my wrist. Its presence, it actually looks a lot more balanced on my 18cm wrist as compared to the 37. But the real beauty of this is that height. It's negligible, it really is. 7.4mm, it's like a pancake. It's so thin. The comfort on the bracelet, it seems to feature the same style bracelet, a really good taper, good finishing, and great articulation. Now before I get into the movement and any other specs, I'll tell you the changes of this watch from the prototype to the production version. First and foremost, you heard that I said that that's only a 4mm crown. What they're going to do, they're going to make a bigger crown on this watch. So that's number one. Secondly, if you look at the back, we've got a closed case back. The production version will come with a display case back, and that's pretty much it. Apart from that, everything else you see here will be exactly the same. Now since we've just had a look at that caseback, behind that caseback is an ETA 7001 manual wind movement. It features around 45 hours power reserve, beats at 21,800 vibrations per hour. It's a tried and tested movement, it's been in production since about 1971. And you probably noticed by looking at the front of the watch, there's no sweeping seconds. By using the ETA 7001, there is no seconds hand. And there's also no hacking. So you pull the crown out, you set the time, walk away. It's a more minimalist type input. Now the lume of this watch is very interesting because even though this is a prototype, I've put it side by side next to the production version of the 37, and you know what, it's actually just that little bit better. Possibly because the lume plots are a little bit bigger, but looking at them side by side, it's just got that edge. So in that department, well done. Now the crystal of this watch is a flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, and to my eyes it's doing a really good job. I've had no washout. In fact, the legibility, the clarity has been very, very good. Again, I didn't expect anything less from Main. Now, as far as prices and release dates, I'm going to leave all those links in the description section for you guys so you can check them out. But getting back to this watch, I must say the watch feels extremely balanced and well proportioned on my wrist. But I do have a couple of small gripes. And the first one is that crown. Now, I know that the production version is going to be making a larger crown, which is fine. However, being a manual wind movement, I really wish they considered a round crown, something with knurling, because this is one of the features of the watch that's going to be utilised the most, the hand winding. Secondly, although this bracelet is beautiful, the articulation is superb. You've got screw pins, you've got a butterfly clasp. It is very comfortable. You've got, as you can see, a male and female. They lock into each other. Away you go. Now, although it is very comfortable, and a butterfly system pretty much suits a watch of this style. All that being said, because it's summer here in Melbourne, I haven't been able to find a sweet spot of comfort on my wrist. I've had to adjust the bracelet and wear it pretty loose. So that's been one of my niggles initially with this watch. But no different from the original. Next gripe some people might find is the price. It's not inexpensive, but I can tell you assuredly the watches that I have received from Maine, personally I've had no problems with them. The quality's being very good. And even this Manhattan 37 that my wife did manage to swipe off me a little while back, apart from a few surface scratches, the watch has not skipped a beat. Next gripe, well, this is more of a personal choice. The dial itself, I really like its pattern. I like its Côte de Genève finishing, the lines. I really like what they've done here. That main logo, I just wish that this watch came with an applied logo. Potentially just the M, just nice and clean. But that's me. And again, that is a personal design gripe. And that's pretty much it, guys, because I think Maine have gone out and made something very suitable for the modern audience and quite beautiful, to be honest. So I just wanted to share my take on this Manhattan 39, and although it is a prototype, I can see that its finishing is exceptional. It's really well done. The upgrades, which are in its size, in its thinness, are definitely welcomed, however at the cost of an automated movement, so be aware of that. I think when the production versions arrive with an exhibition case back, which are going to showcase that decorated ETA movement, then it'll potentially complete the overall look and feel of this watch. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit me up in the comment section regarding your thoughts or ideas of this watch. At the moment, it's a beautiful 31 degrees Celsius here in Melbourne, so I'm off to the beach. Enjoy your day or evening wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you in the next one.